up until maybe 10 years ago, the most important thing you could do once you were diagnosed with cancer was book a ticket to leave town and go somewhere else to get cancer care. So we, with your help, are going to turn that around.
Today you're going to get to hear a little bit about the research that we're supporting with 3 dynamic partnerships across our community, and the research is being done in Broward for Broward residents. As we looked at these research projects to make sure we were using a lens of equity, diversity, and inclusion so that the patients that were going through the process were representative of our entire community.
We want to take care of our patients in our community. We know the access to the latest trials, the latest technologies, close to home with the love of their families, provides a better healing environment for our patients. And that is really the mission that all of you are supporting today.
We're looking at all of these characteristics of cancer patients and non-cancer patients to identify markers that we can possibly use for early detection of endometrial cancer, which we don't have. A lot of women think a pap smear is looking for all gynecologic cancers. It's just cervical cancer. And we don't have an early detection tool for endometrial cancer. So if we can start developing something that is present that we can easily be screening, then potentially we can catch these cancers earlier, treat them earlier, and start working on that ever-increasing mortality rate.
Really, the focus of our work is to provide individualized treatment plans for cancer patients that have exhausted standard of care. The idea here is that we want to be able to provide exactly the right drugs for the right patients.
A patient's tumor changes over time. So by the different exposures, the different treatments that they've had. So if person A had treatment X, Y, and Z, but person B had treatment D, E, F, they may respond to one drug differently than they would to another, and that's all the things that we're trying to capture that makes a difference for me, and that makes a difference for my patients ultimately, which is the most important part.
We want to create a tumor bank because in the tumor bank we can experiment with tissues from minorities, and we can show the world about what will be the outcomes of new cancer drugs, new agents, new pathways, and genetics in this minority population. So that is the core of our project.
So in turn, our project, and again, we are greatly appreciative of the funding that we received to do this, is to start to bring in diverse groups as part of a biobank.
One of the key pieces that helped us decide on these 3 projects is that they were scalable and that they would help. We were sort of funding the beginning, and it would help them be able to attract larger funding for bigger projects, which is, we felt like that was a really good investment of our funds.
It's also nice to see that the foundation is focusing on diverse populations that we have here in Broward County. So I think we have still minorities that have a higher cancer incidence and where cancers are much more, more significant. And I think the focus on those populations, I think, was very positive to me to see.
I thought this was one of the best presentations on oncology research. Just what I heard today was eye-opening at the possibility of what will exist in our future.